Alright, good morning, 11:23 Eastern Standard Time. Welcome to this update, and we're going to take a look at our winter hint number 27, I think. We'll get to that in a second. First off, I want to take a look at the tropics, because again, this is actually the peak time of year when you want to look at the tropics, because the peak of the season is from September basically through October into early November. So get ready, guys. This is coming into the peak of the season, and you want to watch the tropics at this time of year, especially the Atlantic, but also the Pacific, but more so the Atlantic, because the Atlantic is what usually impacts the USA via the East Coast or the Gulf Coast. So those where the Atlantic is where you usually get your impacting storms from, which again can cause financial loss, unfortunately lives lost, and they're just major catastrophes. So you don't want that to happen ultimately, but you want to keep track of these storms. So we have tropical storm Gabriel, and whatever have you. I don't know the pronunciation, but this is going to be a small tropical storm until about 8 a.m. Sunday, where it transitions into a hurricane, and obviously it's strengthening across the warm waters, and it's heading towards Bermuda in this forecast. So if you're from Bermuda, or if you know anyone from Bermuda, let them know this is something they want to watch. Again, it's not necessarily going to hit Bermuda because it is still about 5-ish days away from its that target date where it may hit Bermuda. We also want to take a look at this African wave has a 20% chance of cyclone formation in 7 days, and again it's heading directly west. We'll see what happens with this guy. I'm not too concerned about him as of yet. That might change in a week from now. We might see it energize over the warm Atlantic waters, and it might strengthen into a hurricane. It could hit the USA, but again, that's just putting thoughts out there. It's not really classified as anything that will yet. Now we take a look at the Eastern Pacific. We have one disturbance that has a 90% chance of cyclone formation in 7 days. So this is one to watch if you're from the Baja of Mexico or the west coast of Mexico. And obviously there's plenty of warm water to work with. Let's take a look at the current sea surface anomalies to see how much warm water we have to work with, both for the Atlantic and for the Pacific. And so again, let's take a look at the Atlantic first on the right hand side. So a lot of warm water to work with. It's just plenty of warm water. There's no really loopholes there except right off the northeast coast, but that's not too much of a concern because overwhelmingly it's warm. So it kind of overrides any little cool pools of water or spots or patches that we have. Now here in the Eastern Pacific near the Baja of Mexico, that's also, you got to take in mind this is averages. So just because it's say below average doesn't mean we have cold waters there. We still have very warm waters in these latitudes that are near the equator. So we have plenty of warm water to work with in the Eastern Pacific and in the Atlantic Ocean. Even in the Central Pacific, we had a hurricane come north of Hawaii a couple weeks ago, so that's always something to watch, even in Hawaii. I believe the strongest storm they got was a Category 3 hurricane, so they're not known for your major landfalls like the East Coast, Florida coast, and Gulf Coast, but they do occasionally get some Category 1, 2, and lots of tropical cyclone formation landfalls there. Taking a look at our winter hint, I'm going to go off weatherbell.com and take a look at some of these computer models and what they're forecasting, because we've done the Jamstack constantly. We've kind of nailed that to the ground, and now we're going to take a look at Weatherbell's Canadian model. We're not going to do that because that's an old run, but we will do the CFS V2, and this is our latest run from today, this morning at 12 a.m. We're going to take a look at our monthly temperatures going to winter season, which starts in November. Again, not the winter season where you get your snows from is what I'm referring to. So that goes from about November 1st to March 1st, I believe. Anyways, in November, we have a lot of cold air in the northern plains and in the northwest. We start to see that chip away, this model chip away some of the cold in the Great Lakes northeast. We'll see if it continues to do so. And here's our December forecast. Again, it shunts a lot of the cold air farther north. A lot of warm air rises from the south in places like Ohio, Iowa, bordering Idaho. Again, we're going to have to watch the trend because the trend seems to be overall growing colder, not warmer. So, yeah, it's okay if we get a few warm runs, stray runs every 3 to 4 days, but we don't want to watch the trend to make sure that's going colder overall. So, I'll leave you with that. Again, today's run off the CFS V2 is pretty warm, but we want to watch the trend to see where that goes. Because again, we're going to have to do this daily and see where the average ensembles of the models are going. What's in the middle? Where's the common thread? So, all right, with that, guys, thank you for watching. This is Winter Hint number 24. Hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching. Take care.